U of M freshman McKenna Morley leads the cross-country team on an easy run through the Rattlesnake neighborhood. She spent most of her high school career at the front of the pack.
For me, I am just happy to be racing.
Morley won 3 state championships at Big Fork High and is the all-class state record holder in cross-country. She decided to stay in-state after offers poured in from running powerhouses like Stanford and Northern Arizona. Here at the Grizzly Hall of Champions, Grizz greats from football to cross-country have been remembered. And one day, Morley says she hopes that her photo is on one of these walls. Cross-country coach Colin Fair says he believes Morley is an overall boost that the team needed.
She's just a really happy, bubbly person to be around, so that is contagious. So it's nice to have that, but just her raw talent and ability as a runner automatically elevates the level of everyone else around.
Morley is roommates with teammate and Big Fork native Emily Shirosky. Shirosky says Morley is making an early impact on the team.
I enjoy having her as a roommate, and it's awesome because she's just pulling the whole team up with her.
There are high expectations for Morley, but she is taking it one step at a time.
I have some goals, but I mostly just want to see what I can do, like get the most out of myself.
And over the next 4 years, Grizz fans can expect Morley to run through the competition at the Big Sky Conference and on the national level. For News, I'm Sean Robb. Tyler Warneski is a 13-year-old 8th grader at C.S. Porter Middle School. This self-proclaimed Grizz fanatic is going to his first football game. He says he was ecstatic when he found out the news.
I freaked out. I jumped up and down, and I was in class too.
The local nonprofit Grizz Kids started in 2004 and provides the unique experience for local kids to attend a Grizz football game. C.S. Porter Vice Principal Ty Solberg says he respects the effort the program puts into making the kids happy.
Obviously, I think it takes a lot of money. There's t-shirts and hats involved, tickets, food vouchers. So obviously the money part's a generous donation.
Thad Hughes played defensive tackle at the U and now serves as a board member for the nonprofit. He owns Hughes Law Office, a sponsor of Grizz Kids. He is one of 8 former football players on the board. He says the sponsors are passionate about the program.
They're there for us. So these sponsors are, they're incredibly kind, and not just about giving us money. Their kindness is about doing good things for these kids that we help out.
Warneski says he thinks the opportunity to cheer on the Grizzlies is awesome.
I think it's pretty cool because if they're going to spend a bunch of money on all of us to get a ticket, I think that's really cool.
And on the last game of the season, there were lots of selfies, dancing, and touchdowns. Reporting for News, I'm Sean Robb.
A 2.5-yard run.
Hello and welcome to UM News. I'm Dominique Giusti.
And I'm Sarah Jovitich. Today we salute military veterans who risk their lives protecting our country. News reporter Sojin Josephson is live at UM's Fallen Soldier Memorial with more on some special veterans.
Thanks, Sarah. The 2 youngest members of the Police Department celebrated their first Veterans Day in Missoula. Photographer Andy Anderson and I sniffed around to get the story. Bob searches every nook and cranny of the Galloping Grizz food truck for a decoy pouch that smells like a real explosive. He and his Marine Corps veteran partner Hooch use their noses to protect the community. Hooch served a year-long tour in Afghanistan, and Bob trained with the Army.
I forgot you got the squeaky one. Come on.
Before every home game, concert, and event, Hooch and Bob searched the area for explosives.
Up. Good boy.
Assistant Athletic Director Chuck Mays says that before the addition of the veteran dogs, only the most critical areas of the stadium were checked.
We're really kind of going over with a fine-tooth comb now, as opposed before we were just kind of brushing the surface.
But Hooch and Bob don't work alone. Hooch's partner, Officer Darren Ginn, says that the University Police Department responds weekly to suspicious items. Ginn is also a Marine Corps veteran. He says that work is better with Hooch around.
It's just a good change, and it's a lot of fun to have a dog that I can bring to work and hang out with all day long. So it makes me happy.
Bob is partnered up with Sergeant Rich Zitzka, an Air Force and Army veteran. He says that when the military downsized last year, he and Ginn adopted the trained canines. Zitzka says the dogs bring energy and enjoyment to everyday work.
It brings a lot of excitement and puts a lot of spark back in your career.
The dogs have become part of the men's families, but they have bonded with each other too. Through their jobs, Hooch and Bob have become not just co-workers, but best friends.
Hooch and Bob make up 2 of only 6 bomb-sniffing dogs statewide. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Sojin. A Missoula organization took to the ice rink to help local veterans. Stars and Stripes on Ice raised money this past weekend for service dogs assisting vets in Montana. Instructor Kinsey Owen says she has a special connection to Veterans Day.
Always grown up with a strong sense of patriotism. My dad served in the Air Force. My grandfather was in the Korean War with a K-9 unit, and he was one of the first units to go out with K-9s.
This is the Missoula Figure Skating Club's 3rd year hosting the Veterans Benefit Ice Show.
One University of Montana office is helping student veterans with their education. UM established the Veterans Education and Transition Services Office to assist vets and their family members in achieving academic success. The Vets Office provides a lounge area and computer lab for students to use while waiting for their next class.
For more information on this and other stories, visit our website at umnews.jour.umt.edu.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
Mixed martial arts, or MMA for short, is a mix of different styles of fighting from all over the world. At Gold's Gym in Missoula, there is a small group of young fighters who have become hooked on MMA.
I love to fight. I love to fight, and it's one of those sports you have to love it if you're gonna fight. Like, you can't come in and get hit every day if you don't love it.
Folsom is a 21-year-old Missoula native who is becoming a professional fighter in December. He has won his last 3 fights, all by knockout. He is just one of millions of young adults who are embracing MMA. According to Compete.com, there has been a 106% increase in interest in the sport.
The reason I fight is I get to let my demon out every day. And I honestly think if I didn't get to get punched in the face, I didn't get to punch people in the face on a daily basis, I wouldn't be as nice of a guy as I am right now.
Friendships and brotherhoods are forged from the blood, sweat, and tears shed during the countless training sessions.
Him and me have a great match every single time, and we're really able to push each other, that's what you need as a team, someone that can push you. We're good friends outside the gym. Sometimes we get intense in here, but it's all hugs, and we're good afterwards.
Becoming professional is a big step for Folsom, because once an MMA fighter turns pro, they can never go back.
He's driven since day one, since he's been down here. He's just steadfast the whole time. He just keeps his nose to the grind and just keeps going. He's one of the most technical and easiest kids that we have to teach down here, so he picks up everything very fast.
I mean, I believed in myself from the beginning. You know I know I can do whatever I set my mind to. But when these last 3 fights, winning with knockouts in all 3 of these fights, and just running through the competition here in Montana, when I was really like, all right, like, this is me, this is what I can do. This is what I was born for.
On December 5th, Folsom will be competing in his first professional fight at Rimrock Auto Arena in Billings. From Missoula, I'm Sean Robb. University of Montana cross country is reportedly losing their top runner. True freshman McKenna Morley will be transferring at the end of this semester. Morley led the team this season, winning the Big Sky Conference and finishing in the middle of the pack at NCAA Nationals. She made headlines as a senior at Big Fork High School, winning 3 state titles. She turned down top programs from around the country to stay in Montana, but now team members say she is talking to Iowa State and Colorado. Morley was unavailable for comment. Reporting for UM News, I'm Sean Robb. Pac-12 football media days continued in LA, and for the first time, we heard from the Washington State Cougars. Mike Leach has been making headlines all week for everything from his thoughts on Deflategate to how the college football playoff should expand to 64 teams. Today, though, Coach Leach actually talked about football and provided some insight into one of the questions going into fall camp. Who will be the Cougars' starting quarterback? Soaring to support, the Inland Northwest once again came to the aid of one of its own in a time of need. Dozens and dozens of people packed Dutch Bros coffee stands today to help support popular radio host Ken Hopkins of the Dave, Ken, and Molly Morning Show. $1 of each drink was donated to help with Ken's medical expenses after he was seriously injured in a recent bicycle accident. The Eastern Washington Eagles were there to show their support for a fellow Eagle. We still have plenty to get to here on SWX Tonight. We'll head back to Avista Stadium for a breakdown of tonight's Indians game. Plus, we'll hear more from Lindsey Joy out at day one of Seahawks camp. Russell Wilson has a new contract, but there are still others looking for their new deal. We'll have that coming up next.